It's been said that if you flip a coin in the air, whichever side of the decision you're hoping for, whether it's heads or tails, whatever your subconscious roots for, that should be the decision you make. In this video, I'm going to try to dispel that need to flip a coin when choosing between sales positions and hopefully give you a little bit more of a structure for evaluating whether or not you should take a sales position and maybe which sales position you should be gunning for in the future. I'm going to start off by going over the 3 things that must be in place, and you need to figure these out before you accept a job offer. And then I'm going to go through a paradigm to kind of let you hone in on the top sales jobs that you potentially could get given your set of circumstances. I'm going to start off, and you've just received 2 offers. One is for $50,000. The company sells business to business. You've found out that the top rainmaker makes hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. The second offer is for $55,000 per year. And you've just learned that it too is in business to business sales. And the rainmaker at that firm also makes hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Now you talk to the first firm sales manager, and he tells you the reason they only offer $50,000 is because they have a long duration sales cycle, so it'll take a while before you begin making sales, and so they're gonna have to carry you for a while they train you and while you kind of learn the ropes and interact with people enough where they're willing to pull the trigger with you. You talk to the second sales manager, and that sales manager tells you you'll be able to make sales right away and you'll be able to get commissions right away, and so it'll be fabulous because you'll start making additional money to add to that base from day one. Now I'm going to take you through my own personal experience with sales. So I went to work for a medium-sized company as their marketing manager, and they kind of thrust their sales force on me. I didn't ask for it or didn't expect it to be part of my position, but I looked at it and I said, okay, this needs to be taken care of. Right now, the problem the firm had was about 90% of the sales were large clients, but it had all been sold by the original owner of the business, and that constituted about 90% of the sales for the firm. The sales force existed. Unfortunately, they weren't really paying for themselves, and so the majority of them weren't getting much commission and were kind of surviving off their base salary, kind of squeaking out this meager existence, hoping that they could get things turned around. Now, when I came into the position, there were a lot of changes we made and eventually made those sales positions rewarding for those people, but it did take a bit. And so from that, I was able to create 3 rules that determine whether or not you should take a sales position. So the first rule is that, is there a defined lead source that they can point to that where you should go and be able to get leads? And as part of that, is there territories that are defined, and how are those broken up? And does it make sense that you'll be able to actually create inroads into the industry? The second piece is that, are you selling a quality product or service? Because if you're not selling a quality product or service, what'll happen is you'll never be able to get any repeat business and you'll never be able to get referral business. And then finally, is there someone that they can point to that's not a family member, that's a rainmaker at that firm, that is making the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars per year selling at that company, so that you know that you can do it? Because otherwise, if they don't have somebody there that's long duration in that role doing well, how is it going to be that you're going to be successful at that firm? Those are the 3 key things you should look for before entering a sales position. Now we're going to jump into the quadrants, so how we can break apart and determine which sales position we should choose over another. If we look at our 2 axes, the one axis kind of on the bottom is the duration of time it takes to sell a product. So is it a short duration sale or is it a long duration sale? And the other axis is, are you selling to consumers or are you selling business to business, would be the top end of the axis. So that generates kind of 4 quadrants. The first quadrant could be being a travel agent, be selling cosmetics, could be selling shoes, things of that nature, where the decision's made there on the spot and it's a short duration of time with the consumer. The second quadrant is when you're selling business to business, but it's also a very short sales cycle. So that could be selling like office furniture, staffing, payroll processing services, or telecom. In the longer duration sales cycle for consumers, on the very bottom, that's our third quadrant, that would be like selling real estate, home remodels, wealth management services, retirement type services, or insurance. On the top quadrant, quadrant 4, that would be business to business with a long sales cycle. That could be like machine, tool, and die. That could be like heavy IT or consulting projects. That could be medical devices like MRI machines, services like investment banking, or some certain types of insurance. If you break out those quadrants, you can see the difference between quadrant 1 and quadrant 4 kind of change the complexity of the product that you're selling in the sales cycle. What we find is that people that are selling products in quadrant 4 typically kind of become a brand in of themselves, and they generally have more rewarding careers, both financially, and they get to solve problems throughout their career, which makes their career more rewarding. So if you're choosing between, in this case, the initial $50,000 offer was a quadrant 4 type sales position, where the second business was a quadrant 2 type position, selling the difference between an MRI machine or office equipment, you would want to take the job where you're going to be selling the MRI machines, because that's going to be a more rewarding and financially stronger career for you long term. Even though in the short term you may make more money in the quadrant 2 sales position, long term the quadrant 4 position is going to be much more rewarding. Hopefully this helps you in your quest to figure out which sales position to choose and to target in the future. As always, click the subscribe button if you found this information helpful, and have a great day. Heads 74, tails 76. I'm gonna make a decision here. I'm gonna pick between one of these two sales jobs. Heads 75,